Thank you for coming to my channel. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me. I'm going to do a little different video today. Today we're going to talk about, can black people and millennials judge people fairly? The reason that we're doing this video today is because I thought it was important to talk about this, because a lot of times I see people make comments or have conversations with people, and it seems like based on what it is that they're talking about, the way they feel about it is based on if they like an individual or if they don't. For example, I'll give you an example with our movie, The Photograph. We just did a movie review on that.
Yes.
A lot of people had different takes on the movie. And coming from a black perspective, I did see a lot of people that would say, oh, this movie's trash, or don't go see it, and what have you. So, and I'm definitely aware that everyone can have their own opinion. But the funny thing is, when I would look at comments and, see, okay, so why is it that they didn't like the movie? What's going on? And one particular instance, a person was like, I'm going to go see The Photograph tonight. And then somebody commented and was like, girl, don't go see it. Don't go see it. So, of course, I'm being nosy. I go to look through the comments. And then they're talking back and forth. And she says, well, I really don't like that Easter girl and blah, this, blah, that. And I'm like, okay, so basically how you feel about that person warps your whole perception of the whole movie. So my first question was, why did you even bother to go see the movie? Like what was the point? If you don't like the person who's the main character, of course it's gonna throw off your whole perception of if you like it or not.
Was she saying that she didn't like the Easter girl within the movie?
No,
like
she
doesn't
said
like her
she don't like
character, or she
don't
doesn't
like
her
her
as a
period.
person?
She don't like Easter period.
Oh.
That was what she was like. She said, I don't like that Easter girl. That's how she
What
said.
What does that mean?
I don't like her. I'll give you another example. Same thing. Same people say. Person was saying that they don't like the movie was this, the movie was that, or whatever. And then as I'm looking through the comments, the girl said, I feel like I don't think Issa would date a black man.
Oh.
So again, her perception of the movie is thrown off based on her opinion. Yeah, her personal opinion of one person. So I feel like a lot of times when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to a lot of things, we base how good something is on if we like them or not. Like that, to me, you're not being honest, because to me,
you're not being open-minded, not honest, but you're being honest about your personal feelings, but you're not being open-minded about, well, let me see how this person is in this element. Just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean that they are not a good actress or a good singer or or they're not talented. You just don't like them.
But see, that's why. But this is why I say they're not being honest, because this is the thing. Can you truly judge something if you already have a personal opinion about a person that's associated with whatever it is? For example, let's say a party. Let's say somebody we don't like, is throwing a party, and you're at the party. Can you honestly be like, or can you honestly judge the party, or are you gonna be like, oh, that party was trash, I don't even know why I went, this, because people do stuff like that. People will go to something knowing that they don't like the people there or whatever, and then come back and be like, oh, it was this, that, this, and the third. But again, you're not being honest, because something in us, I feel like, prevents us from being honest when we have a negative feeling associated with someone that is a part of something. It's the same thing with music, comedians, all this stuff. Like, for example, okay, so a moment of transparency. There's a lot of people that I'm fans of, and I know you know this, because you probably get tired of hearing it. But some people that I'm fans of: Kevin Hart, Nicki Minaj, LeBron James. Three people, and I stop with those three people. All three of those people, and it's funny, and I'll come back to the whole black community thing. All three of those, I've seen they've been ripped to shreds. People that said Kevin Hart's not funny, he's trash. They say Nicki Minaj can't rap, she's trash. LeBron James, he can't play, he's trash. I've seen people say that. And oftentimes, their opinion is based on how they personally feel about them. And to me, you're not being honest. For example, I'm gonna say Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. A lot of times, or back then, I think a lot of people, and one of my friends, Will Smith, shout out to Will, we talked about that and we said how we personally didn't like Kobe at the time, but there never was a time that me or him would say Kobe's trash, even though we didn't like him as a player. But I feel like nowadays, and that's why the title of this is Millennials as well, because I feel like it's a millennial thing, whereas we let our personal opinion about someone cloud our judgment. Like, what is it to me that prevents you from saying, I don't really like this person,
but they're very talented?
Another person, Beyonce. She's another person.
Yeah.
People don't, I feel like a lot of people don't personally like Beyonce, and they allow that to allow them to critique people in a certain way. Like, I've heard people say Beyonce's trash, or they give her those backhanded compliments, or she's not all that, or she can't really sing, or name, or try to be like, but she can sing, but she can't sing like such and such, or all she is an entertainer, or all she is to dance. And I'm like again, I feel like you're allowing your personal feelings to get in the way. So my question to you is, do you feel that you can honestly give your opinion on something if you already feel a certain way about those people?
I think that it depends on the people. Like we were talking earlier about how some people are not very open-minded at all anyway. So like, I was a dance mom, so I always look at like a judge on the dance of a competition.
Mm-hmm.
We came from a studio that was very popular, so you would have judges on the panel that knew about our studio before we even got up there, would probably judge us harder than a person that didn't have any type of idea who we were, right, or idea of who we were as a studio. So
basically, you're saying because they knew who the studio was, they judged them different.
Yes.
And to me, that's not fair.
Right.
And that's one of my pet peeves when it comes to a lot of things. Period. I just want things to be fair, even on voting. Which, if you haven't voted, get out and vote.
Yes.
Just on voting and looking at candidates, you know what I'm saying? My thing is fairness. And if I look at a situation and I feel like it's not fair, then my thought process is going to be for that, or for those people that are the closest to bringing fairness to everyone. Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it. So within this same situation, it's just like fairness. If you're going to judge a particular situation, or judge people, or judge a movie, judge a song, or judge whatever, I pride myself, or I pride myself on being objective. You know what I'm saying? I try to take my feelings out of it and whatever, and just look at a project or a particular whatever it is solely based on what that is. Right. And I feel like in today's time, a lot of time, I feel like people don't know how to do that.
Right.
They go.
You see people few and far between that do. Like I was telling him, I was naming some people that we follow on social media that try to be open-minded when it comes to certain things. But
shout out to Danielle.
Yeah, and Heather. But other people, I mean, that's not the majority. That's the minority. And I feel like it's just because of how people think. Like, people go in with preconceived notions all the time, and that makes it difficult to judge fairly.
And see, that's what I'm saying. So, to me, my whole thing is just being honest. If I feel like you should lead with, I don't like such and such. For example, and let me flip it back real quick and just talk about black people. It annoys, I'm trying not to cuss, but it annoys the S out of me when people make judgments on things that are black owned, and like, I really can't get my thoughts out without cussing, and I'm trying not to cuss.
So what he's basically saying is, we always complain about we don't have this, we don't have black movies, we don't have black restaurants, there's nowhere for us to go. Mm-hmm. But then when we do have certain things, we complain about it.
We'll trash it. We'll be the first people to do that. You don't know how many.
But it's that crab in the
barrel syndrome.
Yes,
but it's the same thing about the photograph. Like, I've seen so many comments about people trashing the movie. Oh, this movie's trash.
And we just use trash overuse trash anyway.
Right,
so
no, I'm saying,
we don't understand what trash is.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But But to me, if you're gonna like some of these candidates, to go back to voting, some of these candidates are trash. But I feel like,
in his opinion,
in my opinion, but I have a reason
to believe that, and then people I feel like have a reason too, but their reasons may not be as developed as others.
Okay, I'll give you that, but to me it's really dumb, in my opinion, in one breath to be like, black people, we don't have this. Black people, we don't have that. Black people, because to me, it's a difference. It's a difference to tear someone down and critiquing. Those are two different things.
Oh yeah, people and don't know how to give critical, constructive criticism.
They don't. So it's a difference in saying, like we do with our reviews,
people a chance
when we do our movie reviews, and saying, well, this could have been better if yada 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 yada, or I think it would have been different if yada 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 yada. You know what I'm saying? Like this would have been better if it had, more people or more explanation or more dialogue, or this person didn't get to talk, or what. That to me is breaking down why it would be better or why not.
Right.
What I often.
But if you say I don't like somebody's voice.
Right.
Like
right. But that's what people do. And again, I feel like you're not being honest. Like you're being deceptive, and it throws people off. And just from a standpoint of supporting black people, and which I have seen some people. I have seen some mature black people where I feel like they were like, I feel like the movie could have been better, or I feel like this, you know what I'm saying, but you can go see it for yourself. Or, I feel like it could have been better, but I'm definitely going to support. Like that to me is that's the intellectual maturity that I'm talking about. That's cool, but a lot of times I don't see that. Because at the end of the day, you have to do your research when things are put out there. Like don't just take something from what it is and go run with it. And that's what happens when you just randomly say stuff and don't put any type of information as to why you feel the way you feel.
For example, like when you start a new job and you know people, like some of your homeboy, your homegirl got you onto the job, and you go into it and they say, well, how are the people here? Like I never tell them this person is I don't like this person, I don't like that person, this person's cool, this person's cool. I let them kind of figure out on their own, and then they come to me and say, well, what's going on with such and such, what's her deal? And then I'll say, oh, you see what I see, but I don't give them my opinion of it on the front end because I want them to form their own opinion.
Exactly. And see, that's the thing. People have lost the ability to let other people form their own opinions.
That's it.
That like you really hit the nail on the head. It's like instead of letting you figure out how you feel about it, we want to
force our
opinion, and that's what it is, and that's what social media has become. People want to force their opinions on other people as opposed, and I'm all about, I like to argue. I'm again being transparent, but it's one thing to have a conversation and have different points about a particular subject, and it's another thing to, again, like you said, force your opinion on someone. And I think a lot of times that's what people do. Yeah. So what's the moral of the story?
I'm so glad you asked. I was hoping you asked me that. So the moral of the story is do your research, see for yourself, and try not to be so opinionated about everything. Like,
there's nothing wrong with being opinionated, but allow other people to have their own opinions. Right.
So
allow other people.
Me personally, use words like I feel, me personally, versus this is.
Right. This is right.
Definitely this and that. And that's not the case.
Right. All right. We appreciate y'all coming out. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And hit that like button for us. And in the comments below, just comment. Let us know how you feel about that. Yes. Can people judge fairly? Can black people judge fairly? Can millennials judge fairly?
Yeah.
What do you think? Appreciate y'all coming out, and I guess we'll holler at you later.
Peace.